Happy hump day, friends! I am super excited to be starting these. I am not very good at video. These are my very first few videos, but I really feel like I was being called to share some topics with you guys. Tonight's topic is going to be about intermittent fasting, and I want to talk about this today because I get asked about this often, if I know anything about it, if I've tried it. I want to focus on this topic, especially, like I said, I get asked about it, but because it's such a big trend right now, and it has been. So essentially what intermittent fasting is kind of just as it sounds. It's fasting. So you restrict food on certain days or specific hours during the day. So it can be like you eat for 5 days and then you restrict majorly for 2 days. I was reading about that one today. That is a 5 to 2 method where they kind of eat normally for 5 days, and then for the 2 days restrict down to like only 500 to 600 calories, which is super low. Like, guys, I don't know if you know what 500 calories is, but that's one meal essentially. So I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound super fun to me. So anyway, you're essentially restricting calories just in a different way for weight loss. But the idea is a little bit different from, your traditional weight loss program, obviously, because you're not getting the same amount of calories each day. The claim here to intermittent fasting is that there are more health benefits than just weight loss. They have done some animal testing that has shown reduced risk of cancer and aging slower. So that all sounds nice, but if I'm being honest, everything these days causes cancer. There's really no strong evidence that supports those claims. Like I said, there's been animal testing done, but there's no strong evidence that supports that. So even though there may have been people who've had significant, amazing results from sticking with intermittent fasting as their weight loss regimen, this doesn't mean that you are going to have those same results or even be able to stick with it. So this is what I really wanted to chat about. My concern, or a big concern of mine when it comes to intermittent fasting, is the physiological part. Anytime you're restricting calories for weight loss, or you're restricting yourself from foods that you eat on a regular basis or that you really love, or maybe you're looking at fitness as a punishment because you're overweight or you're uncomfortable in your body, there's a lot that happens inside your head. For one, a concern that I would raise, especially when it comes to younger women, would be emotional and binge eating. So, and the negative relationship that it would create with food is still so prominent. I know that it's still so prominent. I'm 27. I don't classify myself as a young woman, but I'm still in the younger generation, and it's still very prominent from, I would say 30 down, especially in the teenage girls looking at weight loss right now and everything. When they're looking at options for their weight loss program, it's so prominent that those young women still see perfection, if you will, from mainstream media, from Facebook, from social media, whatever it may be, from movies, etc., etc. You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. Went off on a little weird thing. Back to where I was. Encouraging a diet like this with intermittent fasting, where you really have to have kind of a controlled environment. You have to have everything controlled and know kind of what you're gonna have for these 2 days, because if you don't have it planned out, then what 500 calories are you gonna have? All bread, and then you end up literally starving yourself, and what's that gonna do to your mind? And this is what I worry about. In the days that your mind is weak and you have really low calorie days, I would be weak, and I would be worried for myself if I was only eating 500 to 600 calories a day. It would still really get to me in my head. So those those psychological issues I really worry about. I really would worry about how low they could potentially feel on those low calorie days. And I really think it could completely mess with their head and lead to binging, more guilt because they binged, and then there comes the self-hatred and more emotions that come with that, and more negative views about food and their body. And guys, nutrition and dieting and just eating right for your body and fitness, it's not as hard as you make it. I promise it's not. It's, it shouldn't be restricting foods you love. It shouldn't be dieting down and restricting your calories so much that you are so overwhelmed, you're fatigued, you're hungry, and you don't know where you're going. It shouldn't end up with binging. It should end up with, regular treats throughout the week and a cheat meal on the weekend or whatever you want. And it can be done. I promise you can eat your cake and have it too. Is that the saying? Guys, you can have your cake. I don't like cake, so I don't use that saying very often, but you can have your treats, and you can live this sustainable life and work out and lose weight. It's not going to be by the drop of a dime. I promise it's not going to be super quick, but you can get results just with the old school way. And I am so old school. I'm not giving up my food. I'm not giving up my white bread. I love food too much. I'm hungry the second I step out of bed, and I want to eat pretty much until I go to bed. So there's that. But really, in all honesty, what you need to focus on if you are trying to lose weight, if you are a beginner getting into the game, your main focus should be you have to have a deficit somewhere. So whether that be your activity level or your calorie restriction, it needs to come from somewhere. So either you can up your activity level and keep eating the way you have been and try for that first, or you can go ahead and start decreasing your calories, not drastically, just kind of start tracking, see where you are even at, start a food diary and see where your calories may be falling. I think that'd be really interesting for a lot of people to actually see how many calories they are or are not getting during the day. A lot of women actually are not getting enough calories that they should be, especially for their activity levels when they're trying to do a ton of cardio and trying to work out a ton. And then go ahead with just trying to eat more mindfully. Don't eat past fullness. Eat until you're satisfied and be done. Walk out of the kitchen, go brush your teeth, and be done with it. If you ever need any tips, any tricks, anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I am obsessed with all things health and fitness, and I have such a fierce love for talking about stuff like this. I want to help other women so bad. It's this passion inside of me, and I feel like I've been called to do this, and that's why I want to start sharing these videos on Wednesdays. So, out of time, but I wanted to let you guys know, please let me know in the comments what else you guys would like as far as content, anything fitness and health and nutrition related, and I will see you guys next Wednesday for another video, and I can't wait to talk to you guys and see what you guys thought about this intermittent fasting video. Let me know if you tried it, what your thoughts are. Let me know if you think I'm crazy, if I suck, I don't know. Anyway, thanks guys. Have a happy Wednesday.